and computer networking very often, right? So let us see what is the difference here. What exactly is a computer network and what is a computer networking? Now, computer network means devices connected with each other. That is a computer network. And what devices are connected? Like, when you talk about a computer network, we have devices like computer, server, routers, switch, firewall, printer, etc. These are the devices we use in a computer network. Okay, so what is a network here, friends? Network is connection of devices like computers, servers, routers, switches, and all these devices. Now, what is this computer networking? What exactly is this terminology? I'll take you to a computer network first. See, this is a very easy network to understand. We have like most of the devices connected here. Most of the servers, routers, switches, whatever we have in a computer network, all the devices we can see here. Okay, one more thing, friends, before we proceed, I'll just try to make a thing very clear here. If there is any doubt, if there is any question, chat box is always open here. You can simply send me a query here. So whatever questions, whatever doubts you have, we can clear while we go for a particular topic. Okay. Okay, fine. So this is a computer network here. We can see servers, routers, switches. Say this is a server here. There is a router here. There is a switch here, and we have like many computers here. So there is a computer network. All the devices are connected with each other. But just try to remember one thing forever. Connection is one thing, communication is one thing. Both are different things. Connection means you connected devices with each other by using a cable. That's it. That is a connection. Communication means whether the devices are talking to each other or not, or whether the devices are communicating with each other or not. For example, there is a server there, and in that server there is some data. Suppose imagine there is a folder here with the name project. Some project folder is there, and that folder contains many files here. Okay, now there is a user sitting here on this computer, and suppose the username is, let's say, Venu. Now the question here is, this Venu user who is connected to the network, the Venu user who is connected to the server, can he access the folder or not? I repeat the question again. Venu user is sitting on the computer, the laptop, and he is connected physically to the server, but can he access the project folder or not? Like I said you, one is a connection, one is a communication. So Venu is connected to the server, but can he access the project folder? Maybe yes, maybe no. If Venu user is having the permission, I repeat, if Venu user is having the permission, then he can access the project folder. If Venu user is not having the permission, then he cannot access the project folder. That's it. So in computer network, the servers, the routers, the switches, the computers, all these devices will work according to the configuration that we do. Server will not work on its own. Router and switch is not working on its own. We have to configure these devices. Once you configure a device according to our configuration, the device will work. This server will work. So if you allow Venu user to access the project folder, Venu can access. Now suppose there is one more user here. I'll go with a user like Sachin. Sachin user is also connected to the server. But for Sachin user, suppose there is no permission to access project folder. So if you're not giving permission for Sachin user to access project folder, although he is connected to server, but he cannot access the project folder. This is what a computer network and networking is all about. Computer network is a connection of devices. Computer networking is a configuration. So connecting devices with each other does not mean the devices will communicate with each other. For making communication, we have to configure the devices. And according to your scenario, we should configure the devices. So there is a way of configuration in server. There is a way of configuration of a router. There is a way to configure a switch. There is a way to configure a server. There is a way to configure a firewall and a computer. Every device configuration is different. That is what you should learn in your Windows Server Administration and CCNA, that is your network administration. When you learn the Windows Server Administration, you are learning how to configure servers. First of all, you should know what is a server, the types of servers, how to install this server, then how to configure this server, and then how to troubleshoot the server. These are the things you are learning in Windows Server Administration. And once you move to the network part, that is CCNA, there you are learning how to configure routers, switches, what are the types of routers and switches we have, how to do the configuration, what protocols we use, okay, what is routing table, what is VLAN table, what is MAC table, all these things you are learning in CCNA, that is router and switch. So the bottom line here is, and the most basic thing we need to understand in any technology, or especially in computer network, is the devices that we connect with each other, like computers, servers, routers, and switches. These devices will not communicate with each other until and unless we configure these devices. So once you configure the devices, then the devices will start communicating with each other. So how to configure them? That is what Windows Server Administration and CCNA is all about. Done. So computer networking is installation, configuration, and administration. This is what computer networking is all about. So if you go to any company, whatever the size of the company network may be, there can be like 100 computers in a company, or there can be 1,000, or there can be like 20,000 computers in a company. If you go with big MNCs, there can be 20,000 people working within a network. There are many companies in a city like Hyderabad, Chennai, and Bangalore, where there are like 20,000, 25,000 people working. So if there are 20, 25,000 people in a company, we have like more devices. There will be some hundreds of servers, there will be some hundreds of switches, and there will be like 20, 30, 50 routers. There can be some thousands of computers. So all these devices we need to connect together, and all these devices we need to configure. So there is a separate team for server configuration, there is a separate team for network configuration. Within server configuration, there is a separate team for a server called DNS. There is a team for like DHCP. There is a team for like email server. There is a team for like ADDS server. There is a team for taking backup. There is a separate team for, installing and configuring some services. So there are many different roles we have within a computer network. There are many different roles we have within our network. So when you go with like Windows Server Administration and network administration, we are learning different things. We are learning different types of servers. We are learning how to configure routers and switches. We are learning many things. But once you join a company as the administrator, your responsibility will be on a particular service. Your responsibility will be on a particular server or particular switch. Learning wise, you are learning many things, but working wise, you have a specific responsibility. But the thing here is, no one knows once they get a job what responsibility they are getting. That's the reason we need to learn all the things that are available there. We need to learn the many different servers there. We need to learn different routers there. We need to learn different switches and all those things. Okay, so I hope the things are becoming more clear for you. Network is connection, networking is installation, configuration, and administration. So always just try to remember one thing, friends. The devices or the computer network or the devices like servers, routers, switches, they will not work automatically. They are not working on their own. So according to the configuration that we do on that particular device, the device will work. I always give an example. Let me just revise that example again. We use mobile phones. There is no one here who is not using a mobile phone here, right? So we know how to use a mobile phone. But is it possible, or is it happened to you anytime before, like from your mobile phone automatically a call is connected to some XYZ person, or automatically a message has been forwarded to some XYZ person? That's not possible, right? A mobile phone cannot make a call automatically. A mobile phone cannot send a message automatically. If you want to make a call in a mobile phone, we should simply take the phone and we should dial the number and we should say call. Then only the call will go to a particular person. Or when you send a message, there is a process of sending a message. So according to your use, you're using the mobile phone. The mobile phone is working. Here also same, friends. According to our configuration, the devices will work. So the example that we have taken here is like there is a project folder in a server. Venu user should access the project folder. He has the permission, but Sachin user, there is no permission. So this is the configuration we have done in a server. So according to this configuration, these two people can connect to the server, and whatever permissions they have, they will get all the permissions. Done. This is a computer network. Now, the next thing we need to know here is how the network is connected, how the devices are connected with each other. When you make a connection, a computer network connection, there are two ways actually. One is we can connect devices by using a cable, that is called wire network, or we can go with wireless technology. Both the options are available. Wire is possible, wireless is possible. But a very simple question here, friends. Can you please tell me, according to your experience, like you already use some computer network. Internet is actually a computer network. Internet is the biggest computer network. Like I said you before, in a company, there can be like 20,000 computers, 25,000 computers, and maybe like say 40,000 computers. The biggest company may have like 35, 40,000 people working in a company within a branch. Okay. But coming to internet, if you just imagine a city like Chennai or city like Hyderabad, city like Delhi, can you just imagine right now how many people are connected to the network, the internet actually? We can say like lakhs of people are connected. Every mobile phone is connected to internet. Every second computer is connected to internet. So there are like lakhs of people connected to internet from a single city. So my question to you is, from your experience, friends, the internet that you use, can you tell me like which network is a better network, wire network or wireless network? Remember I told you, if there is any question or if you want to say something, there is a chat box which is open. It will be always open. You can simply send me a message. Okay, fine. I got an answer here like, and he says the wire is a better option. Okay, fine. I'm getting answers like wire. Everyone is saying wire. That's fine. Of course, wire is a better network. Normally, non-technical people, what they feel like, okay, wireless is a better option. They feel like, okay, wireless means there is no cable connected there. So it is more easier for us to move here and there, and it is more easier for you to access the internet and the network and all those things. Okay, wireless has its advantages, but it is very limited. A cable network, a wire network is having more advantages than a wireless network. Just remember that. So majority of companies, majority, when I say majority, I'm saying like 90 to 95% companies, or maybe like more than 95% companies, the administrator in that company will prefer a computer network that is connected by using a wire. It is because it is more secure, it is more reliable, it is more faster compared to the wireless network. So 90 to 95% cases in companies, we will go with a cable network only, whatever the size of the company may be. Maybe like there are 50 computers and maybe there are 15,000 computers. Cables are always recommended in your computer network. Okay, so wire is the mostly used computer network. Now, coming to wire. What devices, what different types of cables we use in a computer network? There is a cable called fiber optic cable, and there is a cable called UTP cable. There was a cable called coaxial cable. This coaxial cable is outdated actually. Coaxial cable means the TV cable. When you take the TV connection, the black cable will come there, right? That is called coaxial cable. So we are not using coaxial cable, but in 1990s we used to use coaxial cable, but right now no coaxial cable is used in any network. Go to any computer network, 99.9% cases, we will go with a UTP cable or a fiber optic cable. These are the two cables we have in our networks. Now we need to know where UTP cable can be used and where fiber optic cable can be used. Let me just show you some UTP cables and fiber optic cables. Okay. This is a UTP cable, guys. Oh, sorry, this is a fiber optic cable. It will be something like this. Okay. And coming to the UTP cable, you must have seen this UTP cable somewhere. If there is an internet connection in your home, the UTP cable is coming in your home for sure. Let me just see where is that cable. Okay, fine. We'll just check it again. Yeah, this is your UTP cable. You must have seen this cable. This white color one is called actually jack. It is called RJ45 jack. Okay, this is a RJ45 jack and this is your cable. This is your UTP cable. Normally in normal terminology, we call it as CAT cable also. CAT stands for category. So there are some different types of categories we have. Like we have CAT5 and CAT6 cables. These are widely used in our networks. So this is the cable that we use in our computer network in majority of cases. Now why I'm saying this is the cable we use in majority of cases. Okay, now the thing here is, when you see this is called RJ45 port. This is called RJ45 jack or RJ45 port that I have highlighted in green color. When you see your computer or a laptop, friends, you can see this particular RJ45 port directly connected. It is already there on every computer actually. So in this RJ45 port or RJ45 jack, this particular UTP cable will be connected. I'll just write here, things will be more easier for you to remember. RJ45. This is the code. This is the name of this particular jack. Like, you know, when you connect your keyboard and mouse, you connect on a USB port. When you connect your headphone, there is a sound port. When you connect your monitor to your computer, there is a particular port, right? So for every connection, there is a port. So what is the connection for your network? It is called RJ45 port, and this is called NIC card, network interface card. So we will see NIC card and all those things in more details in coming classes. So no need to worry about all these things. I'm just taking you some basic things today. Okay. Now coming back to RJ45 or NIC. Every computer or every laptop has this particular NIC. Even a router, a switch, as well as a server, there is a NIC card. So on this particular NIC card, we are connecting this UTP cable, or we can say CAT5 or CAT6 cable. Okay. This is your motherboard, friends. I'll just try to show you. Things will be more easier for you to understand. Yeah, this is your motherboard. When you see a motherboard, it will be like this. So can you see here all the ports are written clearly? There is something called USB, there is a HDMI, there is like your mic, audio, video, you know, all these ports, right? And one of the port which is clearly visible here is, it is showing as local area network port. It can also be called as local area network port, or RJ45 port, or network port, or it can be also called as your NIC card, network interface card. So there are many different names there, but the most commonly name here is called NIC card, network interface card. So this is a place where you connect your cable connection. Whether you are connected to a computer network, that is the internet, or whether you are connected to your company's network, you connect your device on this particular port. What is this is called RJ45 port. So all these devices, they have the RJ45 ports and all the devices are connected there. Okay, fine. So this is a cable we use. It's very easy. Like connection, making a connection is always easy. So there is no particular class like how to make connection. Okay, when you go to CCNA, there we can see like which device should be connected on which port. There is something called VLANs and trunking, and all these concepts will come in CCNA. There we can see which device can be connected on which particular port. That we will see there. But how to make a connection, there is no learning there. Like, have you ever learned like how to connect your mobile phone charger to your mobile phone? No one, right? We can just see the mobile phone charger, see the mobile phone, and see where is the option available and insert the cable. The making a computer network is something like this. Just see the cable and connect the cable. There is no particular process here. So this is your UTP cable. Now coming to this fiber optic cable, friends. When you see your computer or a laptop that you're using right now, is there any port on your computer or a laptop where you can connect this particular device? See this one. Can you connect this on any computer or a laptop? 99% computers and laptops that we use regularly for our home purpose or in company, this particular fiber optic NIC card is not available. Fiber optic NIC card is available only on special machines like your routers, like high configuration routers, high configuration servers. Only on those machines is fiber optic port is available. Fiber optic ports are not available on 95% devices. I repeat again, it is not available on 95% devices. This is one of the reasons why we are not yet using fiber optic cables in every computer network. There are very few devices where this particular NIC card will come. If I show you this motherboard that I showed you just now, this one. See, we can see audio, local area network port, USB port, there is something called HDMI, there is a VGA port, the blue color one, and there are some more USBs, and there is something called PS2 keyboard and mouse port. This is a very common computer motherboard, but can you see that fiber optic port there? No. So fiber optic ports are not used everywhere. Fiber optic ports are only used on special devices like high configuration devices like servers, routers, firewalls. There only it will be used. If you take a normal server or a normal switch on a normal computer, there also we have this NIC card only, the RJ45 NIC card only. Got it? On that particular device also we have this normal RJ45. So 90 to 95% cases, friends, a computer network is a cable network. Done. It is a cable network. Devices are connected by using a cable. And how many types of cables we have? We have fiber optic cable and UTP cable. So fiber optic cable is used in very few cases. For example, when you make a connection between your Chennai office and Delhi office, or when you make a connection between your Hyderabad office and suppose like say office which is there in Australia, you should connect two routers here now. One router is in one city, another router in another city, one router in one country, another router in another country. So when you make connections between these two branches, then we go with fiber optic cables. But normally we go with the UTP cable only. Hopefully after like some years, after like 3-4 years or 5 years, this fiber optic ports will be more common. It will be more common on computers as well as laptops. But as of now, till 2021, as of now, till now, the fiber optic ports are there only on special devices. Okay, so a computer network is majorly a wire network. A wire network has more advantages compared to wireless. More speed will be there on wire network, more reliable and more secure. So wire is always better than wireless. And coming to wire network, UTP is the cable that we used in majority of cases, or I can call it as CAT cable. So this is the cable that we used in majority of computer networks. What are the types of UTP cables we have? There is something called straight cable, cross cable, rollover cable. It will take around half an hour for me to explain what are the different types of cables we have. But we are not learning that topic as of now. That is a part of CCNA. So when we go with the topic, then we will see the details of cables. There is something called colors also. There is a color coding. It is a very big interview question. They will ask you many questions from the cables. They will say what are the different types of cables we have and what is the color coding in a cable. So once you open a cable, it will be something like this. Can you see there are totally 4 pairs: green, white, green, brown, white, brown, orange, white, orange, blue, white, blue. So these are the 4 pairs we have. We should know how to arrange the cable. There is a particular color coding there. So all these things we will see when we go with CCNA. Okay, so there is a straight cable, there is a cross cable, there is a rollover cable, rollover cable, or it is also called as console cable. All these details we will see in our CCNA. But as of now, as a very basic class, just try to remember UTP cables are widely used. Why they are widely used? One of the reason is the devices that we have today, the computers, the routers, the servers, the switches, whatever devices we have, they are supported for UTP cable only. That is the reason we are using this UTP cable. So if you want to go with a device which has a fiber optic port, then of course we need to pay more money. We need to just spend more money on that particular device because the fiber optic port cost will be a bit more compared to UTP, compared to that RJ45. So in case if your whatever work you do or whatever requirement you have, if your requirement is you are able to fulfill your requirement by using this RJ45 NIC, then there is no need to go with this fiber optic. You know how much speed it will support this RJ45? This will support minimum 1000 MB and we can get up to 10,000 MB, Mbps, megabytes per second. So 1000 Mbps NIC card is a huge NIC card. That's a huge speed. When I see 1000 Mbps means, you know, right now you're using internet. Everyone is connected to internet, maybe Wi-Fi or anywhere. You know, normally we use maximum 100 Mbps internet speed in our home. In 100 Mbps, how many people are connected to your home? Of course, your computer or laptop is connected, and there are like 3-4 phones in your home. So all the people are connected to your Wi-Fi router. That means 5, 7, 10, 20, 30 devices can be easily connected on that 100 MB internet speed. That is more than enough for whole month. But how much speed your computer is supporting? Your computer is supporting minimum 1000 Mbps. This particular RJ45 NIC card, it will support minimum 1000 MB. So it is more than enough. Got it? Okay, I got a message here like I booked my seat and okay, see, whatever classes we are conducting here, every class is a recorded class. Okay, friends. So once you finish our class, within like 2 hours, you will get the recorded class there. The starting 3-4 classes, it's starting 3-4 basic classes. All the classes will be updated on your YouTube channel. You know, there is a Durgasoft YouTube channel, so they will be uploaded on YouTube channel, the starting basic classes. But once we enter into the administration after like 4th or 5th class, these classes will be directly shared with you. So I repeat again, every class is a recorded class. Once you finish your class, within 2 or maximum 3 hours, you will get your recorded class. Until the last class, the class will be recorded and you will get the recorded class directly to your mail ID. Okay, friends? Okay, fine. So now there is a question here like how speed is distributed between all the devices. Okay, so to get the answer, we need to go with a device called switch. So hopefully before we finish our class, Manlesh, we'll just go and see what is a switch and what is a router and all those things. Okay, but before we go there, we'll just discussing like how a network can be connected, how a device will be connected to the network. So we have already seen a computer network. In computer network, we can see all these devices are there and each and every device is connected with each other. Now, when you see the diagram here, can you see clearly? A server is connected to switch, a router is connected to switch, computer, laptop, printer, whatever we have, everything is connected to switch. So switch is a centralized device in our network where all the devices are connected with each other. This is your switch. And of course, switch will take like at least a week of classes, which is not a very simple, switch is not a topic which we can cover within like 5-10 minutes. It will take 1 week for us. And once we go to CCNA, there we can learn about switches. But again, as a basic class, let us just try to see what is switch, what is router, and what is a server here. We'll just try to cover these 3 devices in a most basic way. But again, before I go with these devices, I'll just take a break for 30 seconds here. Just try to understand, friends, what we have discussed here. We just try to understand like what is a network and what is networking. What is the difference? I repeat again, computer network is devices connected with each other. And what devices we have? We have devices like routers, switches, servers, and all these devices. That is a computer network. And the second part is computer networking. That means we said the devices that are connected with each other, they will not communicate with each other until and unless we start communication, until and unless we do some configuration. That is the major point we need to understand. And all the devices, normally people say like, oh, server is a very intelligent device, server is a very this device, that device, blah blah blah. Okay, fine, server is a very intelligent device, but you know, server will work according to our configuration. Server will not do anything on its own, router will not do anything on its own, so it will work according to our configuration. That is what we need to understand first. Done. Then the second thing that we have discussed here is how we connect the devices. So there are two options available, wire and wireless. So now we know, like majority of cases, that is up to 95% cases, the devices are connected with each other by using a cable. And in cable, there are two types of cables. We have fiber optic and UTP. So why we go with UTP cable? There are many reasons. One of the reason is the devices that we have today are supported only for UTP cable. And the second reason is the cost is very less for UTP cable. Fiber optic cables are more costlier actually. So the cost is very less for UTP cable, and it will support sufficient speed. It will support sufficient bandwidth. So we go with this UTP cables. Done. Now let me just take some questions here. I got some questions in my chat box. Okay, the duration of this course, I got the same question from like multiple people. So the duration of this course is for like 30 to 32 days. Approximately 1 month, more than 1 month. So it can be like 30, 32 or 33 days. Okay, so every day the class will be for 1 hour to 1 hour 15 minutes. Starting 2-3 days, the class will be only for 1 hour because we'll be covering some very basic things. These basics are much needed for us to understand the administration. Okay, I should not say basics anyway, but still, you know, we cover like some very normal things from computer networks. Then we will enter into the administration part. So then things will be more easier for you to understand. Okay, friends, so the course is for like 32 days, approximately 32 days. How long will be having the video access? I'm not sure how long you'll be having the video access. They will share the videos with you. I know that for sure. Like before I came to your class, I already taken one class and there is one more class after your class. So every second day, every second week, I'll ask them like, are you getting videos? So they just say like they are getting videos. But coming to how long will you have the access to videos? Can you please confirm this with the management? Because I'm not sure exactly like for how long, maybe at least for 6 months for sure, but still just try to confirm with the management. Okay, and coming to the course content also, the videos, the course content and the fees, everything will be shared by the management. So you registered today, so you send the mail ID as well as the phone number there. You enter your mail ID and a phone number. So once we finish our class, within like 1 or 2 hours, you will get a call from the management and they will share all the details with you. They will send an email. In that email, the course content and the fees and the duration, everything will be there. Everything they will share with you. Okay, so in case if you still have any doubts, if they are not able to share anything with you, just come tomorrow again. Tomorrow will be again a very basic and a demo class, so hopefully I'll clear all your doubts tomorrow. But as of now, just try to understand. They will just try to send all the details from their side. Okay, friends. Yeah. Okay, Malesh, you have already paid the fees, so no issues. You'll get all the videos. Whatever I said, everything is recorded. So you'll get all the videos, you'll get the study material. I'll share the lab manual with you. I'll share the interview questions with you. I have already created many interview questions from Windows Server and CCNA. I'll share with that with you. And as well as I'll share you some labs so that you can learn practicals in a better way. I'll share some scenario based labs so that you can do practicals in a better way. Okay, now let's move on and let us see some more things about the computer network, and let us try to understand what is a server, router, switch, and a computer. Computers we are using for many years now, so we know a computer very well. Computer is a device where we can save data, we can retrieve data, and all those things we know it's a very common thing to understand. But we have some special devices here like servers, routers, switches, and firewalls. Firewalls maybe we can skip, but still let us go with servers, routers, and switches. Now, server is a very, misunderstood terminology. Normally, we know there is a server. We go and access google.com, there is a server. Facebook.com, there is a server. Like, normally when you book your ticket, like suppose air ticket or bus ticket or a train ticket, you connect to a particular server and you book your ticket. And in some cases, you get a message like this server is down. For some reason, they will show a message like this server is down. So let us see what exactly is a server. It's a very technical thing I'm sharing now, friends. So just try to concentrate, and in case if you have any doubt, feel free to send me a message. Server means it is a device that is hosting services. These are the two terminologies that we need to understand very, very carefully. Server and services. Let's see the difference. Now, when you talk about server, friends, server is a hardware machine. Like your computer is a hardware machine, your laptop is a hardware machine, server is also a hardware machine. See what we have in a computer. In a computer, we have motherboard, processor, hard disk, RAM. I hope you know this much basics of a computer. So every computer has motherboard, processor, hard disk, and RAM, right? Now, when you go to a server, there also we have a motherboard, a processor, a hard disk, a RAM, as well as a NIC card. The NIC card that we have seen before, the same NIC card will be there in server. So server is a hardware machine. Now, like any other hardware machine, like a mobile phone or a computer, a server, a router, a switch, a firewall, whatever hardware machines you take, a hardware machine will not run until and unless there is a operating system running in it. I repeat, a hardware machine will not run until and unless the operating system is running in it. Like if you are using a mobile phone, there is a OS there. Maybe if you are using Android or maybe you are using iOS, there is a OS. If you are using a laptop, maybe there is Windows 8 or Windows 10 operating system. Can we use a hardware? Can we use a laptop without a operating system? That is not possible. That is the most basic thing we know about a computer, right? Okay. Let me just draw a simple setup here. Okay, so this is your machine, for example. The first layer in your machine is, of course, your hardware. It can be motherboard, processor, RAM, hard disk. There are certain hardwares that we need to have. Okay, so this is your first layer. That is your hardware layer. Fine. Now, on top of this hardware layer, like I said, in every machine we have a software. And coming to software, there are different types of softwares. And by the way, we have like two classes for software. So no need to worry what is the software, types of softwares and all those things. We will see everything in more details after like a couple of days. But as of now, I'll just write there is something called software, and this software is called operating system. Without operating system, we cannot use a device. Any hardware device, maybe a server, a router, a switch, a firewall, or whatever device you know, we cannot use a device without an operating system. Now, in the same way, server is a hardware machine that has an operating system. I repeat, server is a hardware machine where there is an operating system running. The most common operating systems we use in a server are Windows Server OS, or there is something called Unix OS. Like you know, Linux, Solaris, and all those things, everything comes under Unix. That again we will see in more details. But as of now, these are the two server operating systems we have. One is from Windows and one is from Unix. So when you take a server hardware, the server hardware contains motherboard, processor, RAM, hard disk, and all those things. Okay, it contains all these devices, all these components actually, and this particular hardware, this server hardware has a operating system. And which operating system it has? It has Windows Server operating system. Like in our computer, we use Windows 7, Windows 8, or Windows 10. Windows 11 is also coming. I hope you know that they have already launched, so very soon it will be available for use. But in server, there is something called Windows Server 2012, Windows Server 2016, Windows Server 2019. These are the operating systems we use. Okay, so that operating system we need to install here. Okay, so server is a hardware machine that has a operating system. Now, what I'm sharing with you is a very, very big statement. So just try to understand carefully. You know, Windows Server operating system, like Windows Server 2016, is like your Windows 10 operating system. I think every one of you know how to use Windows 8 or Windows 7 or Windows 10. So if you know how to use it, you know how to operate Windows 10 operating system, you already know how to operate Windows Server operating system actually. Like I said you, they both are completely same operating system, operating wise, using wise means, you know, we know this is your desktop, there is a start menu here, there is a date and time option here, there is a control panel, I can go to the computer, I have these partitions, I have document option, I have download option. These are the options you have in Windows 7, 8, 10. The same options are available in Windows Server also, friend. I repeat, the same options are also available in Windows Server. Then why it is different from a client operating system? Why it is different from your Windows 10 operating system? The reason is a server operating system has the capacity or capabilities to host some services. There's the main difference. I repeat, a server operating system has the capabilities to host services. So what exactly are these services? You know, the computer networks, they are working on services. For example, you go to www.gmail.com, you send a email to some person. You know very well how to send an email. So when you send an email, there is a service in your server which will carry your email from one person to another person. That service is called SMTP service, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. This is a service which is used to send your email from one location to another location, or from one user account to another user account. Or suppose you go to like browser and you say like www.google.com. So what you said when you say www.google.com, you are accessing google.com web page. Yes. So when you access google.com web page, you are using a service here called HTTPS. I'll just try to write some services here. Services are installed and configured in server OS. Okay. According to a service, a server will work. Now let me say what it means. So what I said, service, like I said, your service means a particular process in your machine. Like when you send an email, you're using a service called SMTP. When you're accessing any website, you're using a service called HTTPS. When you're receiving an email, you're using a service called POP3. When you're getting an IP address, you're using a service called DHCP. Okay, when you're accessing google.com, there is a service called DNS. In this same way, there is a service called FTP service, ADDS service, WDS service, web service, etc. There are many services we have in a server. So a server will work according to the service that we install. So see, what we have done here is, we have taken a server here, we have taken a server hardware, and in this server hardware, we have installed the operating system. After installing the operating system, what we have to do here? We have to install some services. We have to install some services, friends. After installing services only, the server will act as a server. If you install DNS here, a service called DNS, then this server is called as a DNS server. If you install a service like email, then this server is called email service. If you install something called ADDS, then it is called ADDS service. So according to the services that we install in our server, this server will work for that particular service. So whatever service you are installing here, that server is called by that service name. Like I said, if there is a DNS service, it is called DNS server. If there is a web service, it is called web server. If there is an email service, it is called email server. That is the difference between a server and a computer. Computer will access a server to access a service. Whereas server, it will host a particular service. Server can host a service so that computers can connect to the server and they can access a server. They can access a service. Remember, we have taken the example here. We said like Vamshi is sitting here, Venu is sitting there, or Raju is sitting here, Sachin is sitting there, all these things. They will connect to this server here and they can access the data here like project folder or whatever. So this server should have a service called file service. If there is a file service running in that particular server, then only the server will act as a file server. Then only the users can connect to it and they can access the data. So that is the difference between a server and a service. When you take a server or a computer, physically they both look more or less same. I'll show you more servers and more information about servers hopefully tomorrow in tomorrow's class. But server is just a computer, friends, with a operating system. But which operating system? In server, there is a server operating system. This server operating system can host services. This is one of the most important part that you should understand. It's not a rocket science, right? It's a very simple thing. It's a very simple concept. Just try to understand things in a simple way. It will be more useful for you. Okay, so I'll just take a break for 30 seconds here. Just try to understand what I have said in last 20 minutes. And in case if you have any doubt between server and services, hopefully I can take some other example and hopefully things will be more easier for you. Okay, and thanks a lot, friends, for sending those encouraging messages in the chat box. So hopefully you will be getting more information and a better information. See, I have started my career like around 13 years before. I have started my journey, not 13 years before, 2006 means around 15 years by now. So I started my journey from Windows Server admin. Actually, I started from hardware. Like 15 years before, computer hardware was a huge thing. So I started my journey from computer hardware. Then I went into server administration and CCNA. I have done many things in my career. I have done like Windows Server administration, Linux administration. I have done CCNA, CCNP up to CCIE. I'm not sure how many of you know about CCIE, but I have done CCIE also. Okay, I have done security. I have done virtualization. I have been taking classes for virtualization for last 5 years now. And right now I'm into like cloud computing also. I'm taking classes in cloud computing also. So I know the technology from the basic up to the expert level. So I know like how to go from the basic up to the expert level. I'm sure no one is here who is only trying to learn like only MCAC or only CCNA. We know this very well, right? After MCAC and CCNA, there are like many more technologies or many more courses available like securities or cyber securities or ethical hacking or cloud computing or virtualization or Linux administration. I have covered most of these things in my career. So I know what is there in like cloud computing. I know how virtualization works. I know what is the security. I know what is there in like the advanced concepts of your networks and Linux and all those things. So you will be getting a very proper and very systematical knowledge from the basics up to the administration level. Okay, so right now this is a very simple and very basic class, but I can see like the way I'm getting messages. I hope you are able to understand what I'm saying here. All the classes will be more easier. All the classes will be hopefully presented in a very systematical and very easy order. Okay, yeah, Rizwan, I'll be taking Linux as well as AWS, so I'll be covering like 3-4 technologies here. MCAC and CCNA. CCNA is a very big course, actually, very big course in the sense, very, very important course. And of course, the server administration is a major part of our career. I can see like most of the people are interested in cloud computing right now, right? Because, wherever you see, there are requirements on cloud computing. It's a huge technology. But, cloud computing is actually more easier than Windows and CCNA. Normally, people feel like, oh, cloud computing is something which is like very big and blah, blah, blah. Okay, it's a huge technology which is in huge demand. But if you're good in server administration and then CCNA part, cloud computing like 40% is already over for you. And it will be very, very easy for you to understand. Okay, so you're making a career for next 12-15 years, friends. So please try to spend your time in a better way. Just try to understand the technology in a better way. Like I said, services today, I name many services like DNS, DHCP, all these services. These services you should know to become a expert or to become a professional person in your networking career. So there are certain things we learn in MCAC, CSN, and there are certain things you learn in cloud computing. But whatever you're learning in Windows Server Administration and cloud networking, the same thing we are repeating in cloud computing, and we are adding some other concepts. So this is the journey for you. I hope I have made things very clear to you. You're starting from server and network administration, then you're entering into the cloud computing. Then the next 2, 3, 5, 10, 15, 20 years, till the time you work somewhere or till the time you work as a networking person or administrator anywhere, your journey will be very smooth. Once you start working, you should be like only working, right? Learning process should be very less anyway. This is the learning process for you. So just try to utilize the time in a better and easy way. Okay, now coming back to the subject, friends. So like I said, your server is a machine. It is like a computer in hardware wise, but server is a separate machine and a special machine, because server is a machine that will host services, and a computer network will not work without services. I have given very simple examples to you, like SMTP, which I said, like sending an email, there is a service. Receiving an email, there is a service. Accessing a website, there is a service. Accessing data with a branch office, there is a service. So there are different services we need to learn. So by default, there are no services in a server, so we need to install. When I said here like installation, configuration, and administration, actually I was referring to the operating system and services only. Installation of operating system, installation of services, and configuration of services. That is what I mean there. Okay. Now, so that is your server, friend. And coming to your computer, no need to say anything about computer. We know about computers and laptops very well. The same concept here. Computer also has a hardware here. It has a hardware, and there is the operating system here. We know which OS we use. We use client OS. It will take 2 classes for us, or at least 3 classes, to know about operating systems and all those things that we will see. And in computer, we are not hosting a service. I repeat, in computer, we are not hosting a service, but by using a computer, we are accessing a service. Using a computer, we can access a service. Okay, so that is your computer. Done. So on top of these services, on top of this, we have something called user. Actually, we are sitting here. So user will interact with the service. Service will interact with the operating system. Operating system will interact with the hardware. These are the layers we have. Bharat, I got a message again from a friend called Bharat, and he's still saying like, what is the content? Can I please again repeat what I said, friend? The
Hello,
content.
hello, sir.
Yeah, hello.
Hello, my voice is audible, sir.
Yeah, Bharat, please go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, Bharat, I
Yeah,
can hear you.
I want to ask you means index. What you teach in this course, because I
Yeah,
am new and I joined the 9 o'clock. That's why I'm asking. Late.
okay. So I already said this before, Bharat. Once we finish our demo
Yeah.
class, that we will finish in 5-10 minutes. Once you finish a demo class, you will get a message from the management. The Durgas of management will send an email to you, and in that email, all the details will be written, like what topics we are covering and how much time it will take, what duration. Everything will come in the email to you.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, there you can see, yeah.
Yeah.
And I can see Amarjit Yadav, you are raising your hand. Anything else, Amarjit? Amarjit Yadav. Okay, fine. Anything else, Mallesh? I can see you are also raising your hand. Mallesh Gangadhar.
Sir, which batch to attend first? There are two simultaneous batches going on yours.
Okay,
So
right now this is the MCSC batch. I'll just share my
yeah,
details. Wait a second. This is your MCSE batch at morning 8:30 a.m. So it's better you attend this class first, 8:30 till 9:40, whatever. The next week, after like 4-5 days, next week Tuesday most probably, we are starting CCNA at 7 a.m. So 7 to 8, 8:15 will be CCNA, then there is a break for like 10-15 minutes. Then we can go with this MCSE batch. Okay, so if you're having sufficient time, if you're not working anywhere, if you're free, then attending 2 classes in a single day is not at all difficult. So next 35 days or maximum 37 days, I can say around 37 days, you can finish your MCSE as well as CCNA. Then you are in a better position to take a call for yourself. Okay, so first is your MCSE that we started today. It was a demo session. It is a demo session still running. So this is at 8:30. Next week, Tuesday, that is on 17th of August, I'll be starting CCNA morning 7 a.m.
Yes, sir. And sir, there is one 11 o'clock batch is going on. Is it that already completed few lessons?
No, right now there is no 11 o'clock batch I have only like some batches. Morning 7 o'clock is going on that I'll finish in 3-4 days. And there is a 9:45 batch that is already like into like I've covered 60-70%. So these are the 2 new classes. This is at 8:30 and this is what season. Okay,
Hello,
there is
sir.
one more. Yeah, Bharat.
Hello. Sir,
Yeah, please go ahead.
actually, I had registered for the Azure administration,
Okay,
your batch. So I want
okay,
to also do Azure administration. So
okay.
how to manage?
So Azure administration is your cloud computing actually. So if you want to go for cloud
Yeah.
computing or any technology, it is always better
Already.
for your career. It is always better for your career if you know the server administration part and the network administration part. Then you can go with the Azure and AWS or whatever, maybe GCP or whatever you need, you can go with it. But you should start
Already
from.
I did the Linux administration RECSA
Okay,
completed
okay,
in Pune. In Pune, where I am living in Pune. So
okay,
I want to do Azure administration class. So
okay.
what I do first? MCSE
First,
or Azure administration?
better you go with MCSE and CCNA. At least go with CCNA, then go with Azure administration. If you have already covered Linux administration, then at least go with CCNA, because without the concept of networks like IP addresses, routing, switching, NAT, PAT, there are many concepts in network that you should know to understand the cloud computing concepts.
Yeah, already I
Okay.
did the CCNA in Jet King in Pune in
Okay.
before 6 years ago, and I am doing the job and as a technical support engineer, and I
Okay.
did the work. Also, I configure the router, just like TP-Link, D-Link,
Okay. Okay,
and
Bharat.
small router.
Yeah. I understood your question. If you have done like this many courses before, then you are more than ready to go for like cloud computing. Then you can start Azure or AWS directly, no issues.
I saw
Sir,
there is a fee structure is 4,000 rupees. In this fee structure, you will cover all topics, na?
Fee structure for what? Azure?
Yeah, Azure administration there is a
No,
4,000
this
rupees.
this is not Azure class, Bharat. This is a class for Windows Server Administration and Network. Azure
Yeah.
will be
Yeah.
Azure will be a different
It is
course. Azure will be a different.
sir,
Azure is
yeah,
Yeah.
sir. Actually, I'm doing this, Python and other classes morning. Okay,
Okay.
so it is contradicting. So what I will do, I can pay both the fees, and in one go, can you share all the videos? It's a previous batch or any
Yeah,
batch?
that is also possible. You just need to talk to the management, Mallesh, in this regards. So they will share all the
Okay.
videos with you, no issues.
Yeah, okay. I pay the fee both the things, CCN and MCC. Previous batch, if they provide me, then it will benefit for me
Okay.
because it is
Okay.
clashing timing.
Okay. No
Okay.
problem. You can just talk to them. Hopefully they will provide some solution.
Okay.
Okay, and
Okay,
there
sir.
is one more question here, like, can we go only for MCSE? So you can go only for MCSE, but I'm not sure what is your requirement, Rizwan. If your requirement is like, if you want to pursue your career in networking, like, cloud or security or anywhere else, you should have the knowledge of CCNA also. But in case if you have already covered CCNA before, if you have already learned CCNA before anywhere, then you can just go with like MCSE also. There is a package for MCSE and CCNA. If you come, it is better for you. But in case if you're only interested in MCSE, you can go for only MCSE.
Sir, package means
Package means like 2
discount?
courses. Yeah, some discount will be there. There's a package. Have you done CCNA
Okay.
before? Any time?
No, sir. Okay.
Okay, so if you have not done CCNA, then I can say one thing: CCNA is mandatory for you. CCNA
Okay,
is
sir.
mandatory for every person.
Okay.
Okay. Now
Yeah,
there is one more
I'm
question.
not just for learning purpose. I'm attending. Actually I'm working in programming just to understand these technical things, lot of jargons.
Okay.
That's
Then
it.
also actually you should have the knowledge of Windows Server. See, MCAC is your 50%, CCNA is your 50%. So only with 50% you cannot understand the technology, right? So better you go with the
Yes,
package. You get both the concepts, and who knows, maybe you just restart your career in administration. If you like something, you just go with it,
yeah.
right? So it depends.
Yes, sir. Right, sir.
Okay, and coming to evening batches, there is a question here like, is there any evening batches? Right now, there are no evening batches here, Sunil, sorry. So the batches are only in the morning time.
Hi, Shakil. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Swaraj.
Shakil, this is Swaraj.
Yeah, Swaraj.
So my question is like I'm parallelly attending Azure administration course, Shakil. So in that, I come to know like we need to have a basic understanding of IP addresses and other things.
Yeah.
So is it for me? What do you suggest? Like if MCSA, I already did my MCSA certification, which was long back.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember only few things about that. So I am attending MCSC now. What do you suggest? Like, is it mandatory for me to attend CCNA as well?
See, remember you asked me a question, and in that question you said like IP addressing. Now, can you see I open a
Correct.
file here called IP addressing? This is your IP addressing, friends. IP addressing will take IP addressing, and there is a concept called subnetting. It will take 6 classes for me to complete in CCNA. 6 classes is a huge time for a single topic, right?
Correct.
So IP addressing and subnetting will take 6 classes. And with my experience, or from my experience, I can say you can become very successful in your career if you know certain topics very well. And one of the topic is your IP addressing. If you're
Okay.
weak in IP addressing for your complete career, you are confused actually. IP addressing is one
Yeah.
topic that you should have perfection. You should not have the knowledge. You should have the perfection in IP addressing. Normally, you know, in other places, they take IP address for like 2 or 3 classes. But I know the importance of IP addressing. I know the importance from my experience, like how important is this particular concept. This is one of
Okay.
the most important concept ever in networking. I'm not saying only MCAC CCN. So I'll just try to make you perfect in IP addressing. So I'll go with like 5 to 6 classes. So knowledge is not needed here. Perfection is needed in IP addressing. So this is what you learn in CCNA. So for any person, like I said, you like half an hour before I came to know about yourself, I already said like most of you are interested in cloud computing. Yeah. So I know
Yeah.
people are going for cloud computing and all those things. So please listen carefully. If you want to go for cloud computing, your server concept and the network concept should be clear. If this is clear, you will understand 50% of cloud computing like in a very easy way. The remaining 50% will be new topic, but overall, Azure or AWS or Google Cloud, whatever you do in cloud computing, all are related, all are starting from the server administration and the network administration. See,
Okay.
next 35 days, if you can spend on Windows Server administration and network administration, this 35 days will be useful for your next 20 years, man. It's not a joke here, right? It's a very big deal. So what you're learning in server administration and network administration will be useful or will be there with you for rest of your career. So it's a huge thing.
Got it.
So I can simply say it is mandatory for you to learn the server administration as well as the network administration. It is mandatory. That's it. That's the bottom line.
Okay. Thanks, Shakil.
Okay. Yeah, fine. And you know, this is a very demo class, so I am getting many questions here. So people are not asking any questions. Don't feel like this class is getting with more questions. Questions are always welcome. So initially I'll get more questions, but once you move into the topic, you'll trying to understand many things in an easy way. So the questions will be like a bit less. Okay, so right now we are still in the starting, so we are like, you know, trying to clear all our doubts. But once we enter into the administration part, see, once you understand the topic, there is no way you ask a question, right? So like this, the questions will go down. I'm not sure about Azure, Rizwan. Azure and the other things, you should again call the management. There will be some other trainer for Azure. Hopefully you can take a class from him. But like as I said you before, this is a session for like Windows Server administration and network administration. So I'm in a better position to like explain you things about this administration. But overall, every course will be for like 1 month or 35 days or 40 days. So it will be designed in that way only. Okay, but still, if you want to know about Azure or something, yeah, I'll be taking Linux. Hopefully next at the end of this month, I'll be starting. Yeah, I got one more message like we will finish this course in 35 days. Of course, this is like for 30 to 32 days. I'm just keeping 1 or 2 days extra because, you know, in some cases, if you need some extra things or if you need some labs, if you need to revise something, if you need some interview questions, whatever, I'm just keeping 1 or 2 classes. But anyhow, before 32, 33 days, I have to finish the course. I have to finish it. That's my like, you know, target, and that will be the course duration for Windows as well as for CCN. So in next 37, 38 days, you will be completing your MCAC as well as CCNA. Both the courses will be completing. Okay, friends. So we have seen like very basic things today. I hope you understood what is the difference between networking, and the most important thing that we have seen today is server and services. So I hope you understood this. And tomorrow when we come, hopefully we will see more details about servers and services. And then we can see routers, switches, and firewalls. We can see some basics of these devices. Then we are more than ready to like just go into the operating system topics and all the other topics. Okay, so classes will be conducted between 8:30 and 9:40 maximum every day. Okay, and the recording classes will be there. Every class will be recorded. The initial classes, like initial 3-4 classes, will be there on YouTube channel of Durgasoft. Just a second, please. Okay, can you see here? This is your Durgasoft YouTube channel, and here videos will be uploaded. Like say 21 minutes before, there was a video uploaded DevOps, and 1 hour before also it was uploaded. SQL Server was uploaded sometime before. So once we finish the class, within like 2 to 3 hours, you will see this video there. Starting 2-3 videos or 4 videos will be uploaded on YouTube channel, the demo videos. Once we enter into the administration part, we will go into we will see, you'll get the videos directly to your mailbox. Done? Okay, friends. So that's it for today, guys. It was a very simple class and it was nice talking to you. I got many questions, so I hope to see more questions in coming classes. Okay, so I'll be still here for like a couple of minutes in case if you have any other question, any doubt. Hopefully we'll clear most of the things today so that from tomorrow we can just concentrate as much as possible on our subject.
Hello, Mr. Shakil. This is Syed Ahmed.
Yeah, Said.
When it will be starting? From tomorrow, is it?
We started today,
The
Said.
class
Actually,
for
today
MCAC and CCNA.
MCAC we started
Oh,
today
okay.
only. Today was a very basic class. We have just covered some server and services. You can see this recorded class on YouTube within like 2-3 hours. And class is from 8:30 for MCAC and CCNA. I'm starting at 7 o'clock from like 17th August. Next Tuesday, I'll be starting this. CCNA morning 7 a.m.
So every day, 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. the CCNA, is it?
7 a.m. to like maximum 8:15.
Sorry, okay.
Maximum 8:15.
And from 8:30 to
9:40, 9:45 it will be like MCAC. 1 hour, 1 hour, 15 minutes. It depends. Sometimes a topic can finish in 1 hour. Sometimes a topic can go like 1 hour, 30 minutes. It depends. Like overall 1 hour, 15 minutes.
okay. Cool. Thank you.
And each course will take like 32 to 33 days, whether it is MCAC or CCNA, each course. So if I start MCAC today, like I started, so today is August, today's 10th August. So hopefully September, let me just go there. Yeah, September 9th, 8th, or September 10th or 11th we can finish, because August has 31 days totally. So September second Saturday of September we'll finish our MCIC. That will be our target. And CCNA will be starting next week. So CCNA will be like the third week of September. That is 18th of September we can finish our CCNA. Classes will be there minimum for 5 days. Actually, it will be there for 6 days. And in some cases, we may take class on Sunday, maybe, but still classes will be there only for like 6 days a week. Okay, friends. So that was the course. That was the class for today. And again, thanks for joining. And I hope all the very best for you. I wish all the very best for you. So tomorrow again, there is a class at morning 8:30 a.m. So we will see some more basic things. We'll just go deep into server. And then we can cover our routers, switches, and firewalls tomorrow, hopefully. And hopefully we are more than ready for like jump into some very good concepts. Okay. And the last thing is, whatever you need about the content and the fee structure and everything, the management will call you, management will send a message. So there all the details will be written. So no need to worry about the content and all those things. Done. So that's it, friends. That's it for today. Thanks for joining and have a nice day, and hope to see you again tomorrow at the same time. Take care, guys. Bye.